Well, today we're doing something different, as you might see. We usually cook and we kind of don't care what the recipe says. We do whatever we want, that's cooking. But today we have a very Alton Brown station set up here because we are baking. We're doing Gene Rager's mom's banana bread. Now what is that exactly? I don't know. It's the banana bread recipe that my mom's been making my entire life. And I guess she got it from Gene Rager's mom. And that's the origin of the banana bread. But I think the original banana bread probably had like nuts in it, maybe shortening, maybe raisins, maybe, nobody knows. You know, it's a 100-year-old recipe. So my mom kind of transformed it, and as a kid, I didn't like nuts and raisins, so I wanted chocolate chips. And as I matured, I realized that chocolate chips kind of didn't add to the banana bread. But do you know what does add to the banana bread? 1 mound of English toffee. Of your choice, Heath, Score, whatever. I took 5 bars and ground them up. And we're gonna make some banana bread. Okay, first thing first, we'll follow the recipe. Here it is, boom. Okay, mix sugar and butter. So we pre-measured everything. We're gonna take this softened butter, and plop it in the bowl. And I'll give it a little bit of a whiskey business before we get going. On as high as possible. Just kidding, on low. Let's get it started, Okay. Now this is 1/4 cup of white sugar, and we're just going in with all of it. And we're going to be creaming the sugar and butter. Again on low, because we don't want to make the biggest mess on the planet. It's important to use soft butter, or else this would be pretty much impossible. And you make the biggest mess ever. Okay, I feel like this is about what this should look like. Little clumpies? Little clumpies? Beep, 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 beep. You gotta keep going?
Yeah.
Oh no, this is not what this should look like.
Yeah, that's good enough.
It's good enough. We will add to the sugar and butter 1, 2 eggs. And I guess it's best to crack them in its own thing one by one so you don't make a mess and have shells all over the place. Okay. One at a time, just in case. Oh my. We didn't. That's why it's just in case. Okay, so let's do a little bit of whiskey business, because it's gross looking. Okay. What does this say? Add unbeaten eggs, bananas, and vanilla. So what you might have noticed is these are the nastiest looking things on the planet. So what we did was we got bananas, and when they got just about disgusting, we threw them in the freezer. So we can always have banana bread, the ripest, sweetest. This is what you want. This is what you want. You can judge, but this is what you want. Banana number 2. And banana number 3. Just kept them in a freezer bag until they're nice and ripe and juicy. And the third ingredient, vanilla. So you can use whatever vanilla you want or have, or whatever vanilla you think the person deserves that you're making it for. We're making this for ourselves, so we're gonna use vanilla bean paste actually. Because, you know, maybe if this was for, you know, a new neighbor or something, we'd go some vanilla extract, but we love each other, we love ourselves, so we're going with vanilla beans paste. 1 tablespoon, which seems like the perfect amount, doesn't it? It does. God, that's probably like $14. Well, you know, there's not much left in it, so let's just treat ourselves. Treat yourself! All right, back on low. Back on low so we don't make a mess. Incorporating all this shit. A little higher. A little bit higher now. A little bit higher now. We're going, baby, now. Okay. Alright. Come on. It's time to pull some dry ingredients. Pull it together. Here's what we have. We have 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. We have 1/2 of a teaspoon of baking soda. It's going in. It's going in. We have 1/2 of a teaspoon of kosher salt. It's going in. We have 2 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder. It's going in. Now we need to stir this somehow. Yes. So we need to take all our dry ingredients, give them a little bit of a whiskey business. And then we're going to take the dry ingredients and we're going to put them in the wet. Dry into wet, wet into dry. We're not good bakers, but we're going to put this into this. And we're not going to go in with the whole thing at once. That would be ludicrous. So we'll go in just, some at a time. Just until we got this incorporated. And it's not even really incorporated. We still have a ton of flour left here, but that's fine. That's fine. We don't mind that. I don't think you can handle this. Oh, thank you for our non-sponsor of the video, Heath, who we're going to use. Again, we put 5 of your choice of toffee bars into the processor, and I don't know. We did like 5-6 buzzes, bzz, 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 and it got to be about, we have a lot of big chunks. We also have a ton of fine stuff, and we don't care. We like all of that, and we're going to go in with it. And we're going to go with all of it. Every bit of it. And now here's when we will give it the final mixture to incorporate all the flour and all the Heath. You might think to yourself, like if you watch any of these, wow, that's a lot of something. It is. That's just the way it is. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now look at this. Look at this. The recipe says, Gene Rager's mom, says to separate into 2 loaf pans. And these are our 2 loaf pans that we like to use. You can use whatever you like to use. I don't care. You use glass, you gotta deal with temperature, dark stuff. I don't know. I don't bake. We're using these. And we're spraying them with Pam. Of course, you could do whatever you do if you're a baker, but I'm not one. And we're gonna take the mixture and divide it into these 2 loaves as best as humanly possible. Do 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 do. Okay, so we've got them pretty close into even-ish, 2 even batches. And we're going to treat ourselves one final time, and this is going to create the most glorious, just excellent texture ever. And visualizations, we've been seeing a lot of TikTok banana breads. We got to blow them out of the water. So we're going to cover the entire thing with this turbinado, sugar in the raw, or whatever it's called.
Or sanding sugar.
Sanding sugar, turbinado sugar.
Sugar in the raw.
Sugar in the raw. Sugar all over my banana bread. And again, like everything in life, crust to crust is a must. And you don't want to go too heavy. These are going to be great. We're going in to the middle rack of a, what does the recipe say? To the middle rack of probably a 350, to a 350 degree oven for 40 to 50 minutes. Or really until you stick a little device in here and it comes out mostly clean. So we'll be checking these periodically. Do, 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 do. To the middle rack. There they go. Dun 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 dun. The grand reveal. The grand reveal. Wrong one. Dun 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 dun. Let's give him a test. Well, that was not fair because that was stab right into a chocolate piece. That looks good. Barely snotty. Just some crumbs. We're gonna let it cool in here. It's gonna finish cooking. And then we'll get to some sampling in just a second. Your nose always knows. It's the moment we've all been waiting for. Let's take a seat with this. And let's carve off, because I don't really want to eat this piece. Nobody cares about that, but we don't want to waste any. Oh, and let's take this. A nice chunk. Look at this. Oh my God. Look at how moist and delicious. Oh my God. It's so good. So good. Any other banana bread you've ever had doesn't even compare to this. It's so good. Oh my God. I have nothing else to say to you.